Okay, so today we're gonna let Jamba in with Nita. So they're gonna have the whole big cage together and see what happens. Nita's been in here 1.5 days, but she has lived next to Jamba since she arrived, pretty much. So they do know each other, and they did have some touching and contact this morning. Okay, let's see. And then you can just leave it open for now.
Just look at Jamba's reaction and his stance now that he's come in. You can see like Jamba was kind of like strutting, you know. On the other hand, she's just more worried about getting her food over and making sure she's got some of the nice pieces left to eat. But just look at Jamba's stance and how he walks out. It's very interesting to see the interaction and the way he takes on this like real manly pose. You can just see how he's walking around like the big tough guy in the neighborhood, having a look at the enclosure and seeing what's all there and what he can possibly take advantage of. The first kind of interaction going on there, but at least it's not turning into a screaming fight. Nina's keeping her ground. She's just saying, listen, you're going to woo me a lot better than that. Just coming up here and grabbing me is not something you're going to get away with.
So they've swapped rooms. Nita's now in Jamba's side and Jamba is in Nita's side. So Nita thinks it's Christmas. Not only does she have a heap of marulas, albeit very ripe ones, she's also finding some little worms inside that she's busily trying to find and eat.
Marulas are a natural fruit from the area. You might have come across something called amarula cream. It's almost like Bailey's, which is an alcoholic drink that they make from it.
They're both in the same area, very calm right now. It's quite hot during the kind of lunch and afternoon hours in the day.
Jamba and Nita eating close to each other, so that's also very good that we're seeing that. Jamba could also be super aggressive to her and not really let her eat. He accepts that she is. She's comfortable enough, even though you see she does make space for him. So it does show submissive behavior, which is also appropriate though. Nita grooming Jamba.
Well, of course, this is exactly what we wanted to see. And it is a kind of a submissive behavior, her grooming him, just to let him know that she's perfectly comfortable with him. So it is something that is fantastic, basically, to see that they are comfortable now with each other. There doesn't seem to be too much tension going on. And of course, he looks like he's really, really enjoying it. Just do remember, these two are very oldish monkeys. They're not young. So to them to have a companion is probably a great thing as it is. But sometimes they're also very, very set in their ways. So it is fantastic just to see that they are accommodating each other. There doesn't seem to be any aggression towards each other. So things are probably going to go very well.
Now we've also got Jamba grooming Nita.
Well, now that's simply amazing. Reciprocation, that's fantastic. So he's also showing her that he actually doesn't mind her being around, and that he's got a little bit of respect for her. She did get a little bit of a fright, just because, remember, this is a very, very young relationship, and they sort of got to get used to each other. Sometimes their hands aren't as good as what they used to be because they are geriatrics, but yeah, this is just amazing. I think these two are going to make a fantastic couple in the end of the day, and at least they're going to have companions, so it's going to be a lot better for them into the future.
Friday, little Lili starts to meet Z, who hopefully will become her mum. What you can't see here is Z and Satchmo sat in the tree. Oh, there you can. There's Z eating a mango, and there's Satchmo eating a mango, and there's Mango being a mango. Every time he's near, Lili presents, which is very cute. She shoves her tail up in the air. Like that. There she goes, presenting. That's her trying to be friendly and get Mango to like her. There you go, Lili presenting. Where's Z? Lili's on her way down. Mango making his presence known.
So of course the interactions are very, very important to watch and see their behaviors and what they're doing. You saw earlier on Lili looking like she was presenting, basically as a submissive pose, and this is sort of instinctual that they're actually born with it, because she wasn't taught by anyone. She came in at a very, very young age, but she just knows that she's got to be careful of the male. And as you can see, she turns around and she's just showing him that she is submissive. And now we can see the difference when little Nino's there. She's not so reactive, and she's going to show off to ask him to come and play. We see a total different reaction with little Lili and Z. It's like Lili really and truly wants a mom. Look how she's just come down there, sniffing Z. This is a nice interaction. It's looking very, very good. So this is what we're hoping for. This is quite amazing. So I think Lili really wants to have a mom and just have somebody to hold and be with. So it's going to be good to see how these two actually meet and get together. Well, the interactions are going well, so it's time to see how things are going to go.
We're at Mango, and the day has come for Lili to finally meet some other Samangos. So it'll most likely, we'll just wait for Z, the adult female. She's the only potential foster mom, as she's the only female in the troop. But Lili's been doing really well. She's drinking milk really well. We've had to actually use, she's still drinking a kind of special banana milk from a bowl. She doesn't like the normal milk, so we've been reducing the amount of banana slowly. But that's not. So we only started about 20 minutes ago, and after a nervous start for Lili, trying to keep her distance, they got close. Then once that happened, it's been very, very friendly. So as you can see, Z is actually carrying Lili now. She's a little bit awkward about it. And they've had a nice groom.
Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get the initial meeting on camera, as we're just a little bit low on hands at the moment. But as you can see, it's totally different to the Vervets.
Oh, so far so good.
It seemed like Lili was like expecting to get a mom, so she's just very, very happy and happy to be in Z's arms. So it's actually very nice to see how well this is going. It's as if they were meant to be together. So very, very nice. They both like each other quite a bit, and I think Z's also appreciating that this is another little female, and you know, probably easier for her to look after than those rambunctious little boys. So these two are really interacting very, very well. So it shouldn't be too long before we can let them out into the actual troop. So just look at that, running over to mom's arms. Not like some of the vervets, although some of them also go pretty well, like it's gone here with the Samangos. But you can see little Lily's very content and happy. Z's also not minding her at all. And it's like it was, this relationship was kind of meant to happen. So we're very, very happy because as they can get out very, very soon and go into the main enclosure. Just look at this grooming going on. They really love each other, and this is really, really amazing. So it's going to be good to follow their little story and see how things progress from here. But so far it's really fantastic.
So today Dustin and Becky are moving Sparkle to a larger cage. Sparkle's more than 21 years old, so she's a very old lady, and she's been in for some treatment. She has some dental problems, as expected in an old monkey. She's also had some diarrhea, and she wasn't doing so well in with her buddy Sinky, so she's come down for some assessments, some fecal samples, and some extra treatment for her. I think she's enjoying her new home though. And Sparkle's also got her yummy rice plate, which she seems excited about. She's got some rice on there, spinach, almonds. What else she got on there, Becky?
Yogurt, salt,
Some sprouts as well.
cucumber, sprouts.
Okay. And then she also has some rice water there, which she absolutely loves. It's just like some extra starch to help with the diarrhea. So she'll be in here for a while until we're happy that she can go back with Sinky. Sinky's also an older boy. So the lentil sprouts are going first. So monkeys often tend to go for the highly concentrated nutrition sources first, and that is exactly what she's doing. We'll see what she picks next. So she's going for the almonds next. Also high protein snacks, lots of nutrition in them. And what we do is we soak the almonds. It increases their nutrition, it helps to get rid of the digestive inhibitors. And it's much easier to digest for her, especially as she's old.
In the intro cage at Engeltjie with Mariella. She's just been asleep, but has been walking around playing a bit now, and has just thrown herself onto her blanket and covered her head. Oh.
The day's come for Mariella to meet some mummies at Engeltjie. I see Jessie has already been interested at the fence. She's actually with Chibi as well in the troop. Engeltjie are a great troop, so I'm sure Mariella is going to have a good time with these mums. Jessie's in. Hannah has just come in.
Straight for the food.
So that was Hannah approaching Mariella. So older female Gladys just entered. Gladys, that's a surprise. She's a much older female and hasn't previously shown much interest in the babies, but Mariella got her first groom. Brief one. Gladys has left, and then we can let Molly in, who's just about to come in.
Yeah?
Yes, there's Molly. So that's Jessie. Chibi's outside, so she did go out to see him, but then she wanted to come back in again. Fred from Goliath troop has just come into sick bay. He's just having a deworming injection and some extra vitamins, some B vitamins and some vitamin C, just for the day. It's going to be very hot today, so we were trying to also give him some fluids. He was a patient that was suspected to have lung cancer, but he's actually since grown all his hair back, apart from a bald patch on the top of his head. And his skin isn't red like it used to be either, so there's definitely some good signs. He is still very thin, but he's also eating well and he's got formed stools. So he'll be going back to Goliath troop at the end of today. And then in 2 weeks' time he'll be in again. We'll do another fecal sample, we'll check his condition, and he'll go back at the end of the day. So Fred's reward, he gets his rice plate, also got lots of goodies on there. We always have to give them something nice after their injections. He's going straight for all sprouts. Fred doesn't like almonds, so he doesn't get any, but he's got some soaked sunflower seeds on his plate instead, which he's going for next. And he's also going to get his bottle of ginger tea. He's got a nice cosy bed there for the day before he goes back home. Fred can't get enough of the seeds, so he's decided to pick his whole plate up. So this yogurt was donated by Fruitful Living in Yoko's, which is the brand. It's banana coconut yogurt, and Fred just had quite a bit of that. So thank you very much, it really helps.
Well, at the sanctuary, you always got to be ready for a surprise visit of people bringing in a little orphan monkey for whatever reason, and that's just happened. So we've just had somebody arrive with a new monkey.
I'm not sure about this address, the guy's address.
Okay, so you didn't find him, no?
No.
No, okay. Do you know... But that's fine. Just pop the general area.
I think on the 21st of January, like, someone sent me a WhatsApp. They found him on the farm somewhere. His mom was shocked. They thought he was also dead. He shocked the little arm.
Okay.
Apparently the mother was electrocuted on overhung power lines, and she died from her injuries. The little one has got little marks on the side or scars from the electrical shock.
You're on cows or?
No, lactogen.
Nice.
So a good thing it has been drinking replacement milk formula for little infants, which is always a good thing. A lot of people do feed them cow's milk, and for some reason mixed with an egg or egg yolk, which is very, very bad for these little guys. It's too high in protein and too rich for them, and it causes them to put on weight extremely quickly and can lead to diabetes later on in their lives.
So where did this one come from?
We're not sure. We haven't looked yet. Looks a bit like Lola, eh?
So this person found him. He's a vet somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Okay.
Yeah. And when they gave him to us, they said he's more or less a month old. So I think he's then, by now he must be about 4 months old.
Okay.
So it sounds like what happened is the mother was shocked by overhead power lines, and the little baby was taken to a vet in the nearby vicinity, and the vet handed it over to these people basically to look after it until it got better. But then for some reason the vet disappeared. They don't have any contact information or anything like this, or where he came from, and they started getting worried, and then started searching on the internet and found the foundation, and decided it's better for the monkey if they actually brought it to us. But we can't get any information on the vet that handed it over to them, or where he's from, or where he's actually gone.
You can see the low tech kernel, like we need to see, very clear.
So it is very difficult for these little guys at the moment. You can see it's very, very content, because the person that's brought it up for over 3 months or so is still in the nearby vicinity, so it's got somebody that it can jump to. It's still got its security. The difficult part is actually going to start coming when this lady has finished all the paperwork and decides to leave, and then unfortunately the trauma is going to start all over again. So it's also one of the big reasons why we say these monkeys need to come to us as soon as possible, because otherwise it goes through a double loss, a double trauma, It's already lost its mother, and now it's being attached to this family or a new troop, and it's going to lose this troop again. So it's, you know, for a little young animal of this age, it's a very, very difficult process to go through. They don't really understand what's happening or what's happening to them or the reason behind it, and all of a sudden they're left in some strangers or strange people's company or strange monkeys, depends on how the little animal looks at it, and it's not too sure what it's going to do or why. So very heartbreaking in a way, and a very, very difficult situation. Well, unfortunately, that sad moment comes when the little one's got to be handed over, and of course his new mom now has to leave, and this is the most heartbreaking part of the whole situation. It's sometimes really affects us quite badly for now to see this little trauma that this little one's actually got to go through all over again, suffering this double loss. And of course those final goodbyes that everyone passes the little one and touches him for the last time and says goodbye to him. But this is not actually a very, very good thing, and it's not something that we really like, but it's very difficult to do this kind of transition from the people, because sometimes you've got them very upset with having to leave the little one behind. And it's a very, very difficult situation, because it's the little one goes through quite a lot. He doesn't understand what's happening or why he's being left behind, and everybody's just leaving him like that. So yeah, it's really it's not a nice thing.
So this is our new arrival. She's a little girl. I say little, she's actually a bit of a chunker. She apparently, due to records, it seems she's about 4 months old. So she was found as a month old baby, and then kept for a few months. Her mother was killed on an electricity line, and she's also taken a bit of it on the arm. So there's some scar tissue and scarring on just the inside of the arm. She's very lively. She is drinking milk, so we've weighed her. We're just giving her a quick check over to see if there's any other old injuries or anything to be concerned about. A little scar on the lower lip, and possibly a little bump or something. But other than that, she seems very, very healthy. You can tell her tail's nice and thick. Which is a good sign of health.
She has been wearing a nappy though. We'll have to look at that.
Yeah. Scratching the bum because she was kept with a nappy on her.
So as you can see, she is in very, very good condition, which is fantastic. So she has been looked after very well.
Wants to go up.
This way.
So that's what we got to really be grateful for, is that she did probably have a little good start to life. They looked after her very well, fed her properly, so that's very, very important, except for the nappy, which is a bit of a problem. But she does seem to be very well settled, but of course it's still going to go through a bit for her looking for her family.
Number 36. She's a lively one. We've calmed down a bit since the people that dropped her off left. We spent a lot of time looking out the window. We're getting there. She's come over for a few grooms. We like running about. We've tried some milk. There you go, Papa. Okay, come on in. Loki's come out for a bit of sunshine time, a little bit of run around. I've been trying to do this with Bo or Natsuki in here, but he gets a bit crazy, which is the opposite of what we want him to do. So we're going for a bit of first thing in the morning. Obviously we want him to be social, which is fine. He got on really well with Natsuki yesterday. They're having far too much fun. But he also needs to be sensible with that leg of his. Don't you, Papas? Sensible. So we try not to let him run around like a mad thing, but when he's got two babies, especially a Natsuki, running around like a mad thing is the only order of the day. It's his crate, overnight crate, which he's not allowed to jump up on, but he likes to catch me out with it. Obviously when he's in Disneyland he's not allowed to climb, because that's bad for his leg if he falls.
Natsuki and Bo's been playing quite a lot this morning, and kind of pulling and play facing at Natsuki. He's still doing very well. He drinks his milk, although awkwardly he does manage to drink it. His head's healing nicely. His balance is far better than it was as well. And yeah, generally he's doing very well. We just got to get him to climb. He can jump around and so on, but we just got to see how his climbing goes over the next couple of weeks before he can be introduced. But you can see that he's started playing as well. And we're hoping to add Natsuki to Mariella at Engeltjie troop so that she can get a foster mum, because she's very big and she needs to get a mum. But we've got a lot of releases going on each week, so we have to find time to fit them in.
You can see Bo's coming on very, very nicely. Healed very, very well, and really orientated now. Can see what's going on, very aware of its surroundings, which is very, very important. On the other hand, you can see Natsuki is still missing its family, running up and down on the side of the enclosure, looking out for them. There's always a hope that your mum will come back, and this is the hard part. As I say, it's not, a lot of the people that hand them over don't see the bit of trauma that these little animals go through, trying to find them or get back to them again.
Right, it's milk changing time for Bo, so we're going to make a milk bottle together. First of all, we need filtered water. Going to make him a 60ml bottle, so I'm going to use a mixing bottle. Put 60ml in there. Then use milk powder, soy-based milk powder. Each 1 scoop, level scoop, makes 30ml of milk. So 2 scoops for 60ml. Oh, there goes Natsuki. And then we put Protexin in. Protexin is a probiotic which helps their immune system. So put a nice level scoop in there with a tiny scoop. It's very small. And that is it. And voila. Then I pop it in Beau's bottle. Beau has a slightly different bottle to everybody else, as he has a softer teat. There's a little bit left. Always makes a little bit more with the water. You come say hi. That's not yours. You see this?
Little Beau not wanting to miss out on the attention, and just comes over to see what's going on, and also getting to see if he can get some milk and a few cuddles, and just to join the group.
Giving meds. Just gone to Colin and Murray. Now we're off to Camelot. And the monkeys that side. As we come up, we should be seeing Sinky, who is on his way to sickbay. And I'm very happy about it. Just gone past Yankee, giving him his meds while he's been trapped. Now we're on our way to Quinn. Stopped by Mariella and Mummy Jessie. Mariella's our 7-week-old. There's Jessie. There's Mariella. Oops. Here she is. Yes, Jessie. So they've just been together about a week now. Both are doing really well, which is nice. They're about to get Natsuki. Here we have Quinn, ready for his rice. Quinn gets his on rice, as he doesn't like taking on any other food. Oh. Quinn and his rice. All of his meds are in there, so nice get a nice good dose. Right, onwards. Let's go to Lilo, and that first. Belle is currently chasing Cuddy, so she knows what's about to happen. So there's Lilo, there's Lila, there's a med. Lilo takes everything in a grape. She doesn't have grapes, she gets very upset. Here we go. Onwards to Fred. Just past these two lovers, sharing a special moment in the path. Upwards to Fred. Fred has a lot of meds. Unfortunately, he doesn't like eating them all. He has got wise to our hiding his food and meds. So we try anyway. But he... Hello. Nice sunbathing. Bye guys. Yeah, so we let Fred decide what he wants to eat. We're not going to push him. Ultimately he knows what's best for him. Looking handsome in the sun. You gonna eat your meds, Fred? Oh, it's a good sign when he comes over. Fred rejected everything. Didn't you, Fred? This is Armis, Banya and Armis. He's having a little sunbathe this morning as it's nice and warm. Just giving him some meds. Here's Banya and Armis. She's a cheeky one. She likes to steal Armis's food, which is not very fair when you're old, slow, have messed up hands, not really much teeth and arthritis. But I guess as a monkey you've got to take all the opportunities you can. What a nice happy old couple.
Well, of course, a very hectic week again. I just returned from Kenya, so I didn't have much time to compile and put everything together. So I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, with the new arrival, Natsuki, to see how she's going. So we'll follow up with her later on. But again, thank you everybody for partaking, for joining us, for being part of the family, for donating where you can. We are going through a very, very tough time again at the moment. I'm not too sure why, but volunteer numbers are very low. For the first time, we're going to have no volunteers here at all. So a lot of work going on now, our local staff and permanent members, which certainly makes it difficult. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be live this weekend, so look out for that. And we'll see you next week.